This is Nightline and I'm Zahir, Kelvin or Abdullah. The top stories. Prime Minister says Malaysia supports Thai-Cambodia peace talks on June 14. Hari Raya Idil Adha celebrated with festive spirit nationwide. Good morning. Muslims across the country celebrated Hari Raya Idil Adha with gratitude and great devotion. Thousands, including leaders, gathered at mosques to perform prayers and to participate in the sacrificial rites. In Sarawak, the Yang di-Pertua Negeri Tun Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar, Premier Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg and Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Fadillah Yusof performed the Idil Adha prayers along with around 5,000 congregants at Masjid Jamek Negeri in Kuching. They then attended a grand sacrificial rites ceremony at the mosque's grounds involving 3 cows to be distributed to 100 underprivileged individuals in the district. In Sabah, Chief Minister Datuk Sri Haji Noor performed Idil Adha prayers with about 1,000 other congregants at Masjid Haji Noor in Tuaran. He then performed the sacrificial rites at the Tuaran District Police Headquarters. The Indian Muslim community in Perak slaughtered a total of 160 goats. The 2-day program saw the participation of 120 volunteers who eagerly assisted in the ceremony. In Kuala Lumpur, women and youth also participated in the ritual held in Titiwangsa. They relished the opportunity to work together in strengthening the spirit of unity with over 100 residents in attendance. Over in Pahang, it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for 167 participants of the National Service Training Program, PLKN, as they celebrated Idil Adha at the Regiment 505 Territorial Army Camp in Pekan. The trainees were unable to return home as they are currently undergoing a 45-day training program which runs until June 24th. They performed their prayers at the camp's surau before enjoying festive meals. The trainees also took the opportunity to contact their families via video calls and check on their well-beings. In Johor, His Majesty Sultan Ibrahim, King of Malaysia, and Her Majesty the Queen, Raja Zahir Sofia, celebrated Hari Raya Idil Adha at Istana Bukit Serene in Johor Bahru on Saturday. In a post on Sultan Ibrahim's social media account, Their Majesties enjoyed a meal with the Johor royal family. Among those present were the Tengku Mahkota of Johor, Tengku Ismail, Cik Puan Mahkota Khalida Johor and their children. Also joining them were the Tengku Mahkota siblings, Tengku Idris Iskandar, Tengku Abdul Rahman, Tengku Abu Bakar, Tengku Tun Amina and her husband, Datuk Dennis Muhammad Abdullah, along with their children. Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim said Malaysia is prepared to help facilitate dialogue between Cambodia and Thailand to achieve a peaceful settlement to their border dispute. The Prime Minister said he had spoken with both Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Manet and Thai Prime Minister Paitong Tan Shinawatra, who informed him that their respective governments had agreed to hold talks on June 14 regarding the issue. Anwar said he expressed this desire in a recent telephone discussion with his counterparts from Thailand and Cambodia.
Mengikuti dan beri apa yang kerjasama yang perlu. Tapi setakat ini, kedua-dua kerajaan ambil sikap untuk meneruskan rundingan secara baik.
Anwar noted that Malaysia is ready to follow up and provide the necessary assistance. This comes in the wake of reports that Thailand's military is prepared to launch a high-level operation to counter any violations of its sovereignty following a border dispute that re-erupted with a deadly clash last week. A Cambodian soldier was shot dead during a brief skirmish with Thai troops in a disputed border area between Cambodia's Phra Vihear province and Thailand's Ubon Ratchathani province. Meanwhile, on the India-Pakistan conflict, he also expressed hope that both countries will achieve peace. He also said Pakistan's wish to become ASEAN's dialogue partner will be brought up at a conference and discussed among ASEAN leaders. We'll bring you the latest update on the Thai-Cambodia border dispute in the foreign segment. Now, Anwar said regional leaders have agreed to continue consultations and explore urgent solutions to the Gaza crisis, reaffirming a united front against Israeli aggression. The Prime Minister said his recent conversations with foreign counterparts, including Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, Iranian President Dr. Masoud Pezeshkian and Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, had focused on the worsening situation in Gaza.
Ini bukan upaya satu negara. Seperti mana kita lakukan dengan negara-negara Teluk, bahawa ini ada kesepakatan, jadi ASEAN, negara Teluk, dan kita dapatkan beberapa negara lain supaya berikan penjelasan dan tekanan yang keras kepada dunia supaya menghentikan.
Anwar said the leaders had agreed to continue consultations and find alternative ways to resolve the crisis as soon as possible. The conflict began after Hamas launched a surprise attack on Israel on October 7, prompting a large-scale Israeli military offensive in Gaza. The war has left Gaza's population facing severe shortages of food, water and medicine as humanitarian conditions continue to deteriorate. Anwar spoke to the media after attending the Idil Adha prayers at Masjid Putra in Putrajaya, where he joined more than 20,000 congregants. The Prime Minister was accompanied by his wife, Datuk Sri Dr. Wan Aziza Ismail, and was greeted upon arrival by Deputy Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Dr. Zulkifli Hassan. Anwar participated alongside congregation for the recitation of the Takbir Raya before listening to the Idil Adha sermon titled Sacrifice and the Spirit of Togetherness, delivered by Masjid Putra's Chief Imam, Dr. Muhammad Zakua Rodzali. The sermon called on the faithful to sacrifice negative traits such as ego, greed, ignorance and heedlessness for the greater good of religion, society and personal growth. In Kuala Lumpur, a total of 81 cows were donated to mosques, suraus and resident associations in the Titiwangsa parliamentary constituency for sacrificial rites in conjunction with this year's Idil Adha celebration. Titiwangsa Member of Parliament, Datuk Sri Johari Abdul Ghani, said the contribution is part of an annual effort to ensure that sacrificial rites can be carried out by the local community.
Hari ini saya ada sumbang lebih kurang dalam 81 ekor seluruh masjid dan surau dan juga persatuan-persatuan penduduk. Hari ini saya juga ucap terima kasihlah kepada satu syarikat. Dia ada juga terlibat dengan sumbangan, iaitu Masuri Dagang Sang Berhad. Di antara dua lembu yang paling besar, apa nama lembu? Lembu sadu 2 ekor.
He added that the company also contributed 2,000 bottles of 4 types of soy sauce to Al Rahimah Mosque in Kampung Pandan in conjunction with the celebration. According to Johari, is also the Plantation and Commodities Minister, the donation was distributed in stages to the recipients in the constituency. Part of the distributions took place on Saturday, with others planned for Sunday and the remainder scheduled to be handed out on Monday and Tuesday. The initiative is carried out annually to enable residents within the constituency to fulfill their religious obligations. Johari expressed his gratitude to all of the parties involved in ensuring the program is a success, which he said reflects the spirit of mutual cooperation and the caring nature of the local community. As families come together, whether in busy cities or quiet villages, their shared traditions create lasting memories and bring them closer in meaningful ways. Across generations and places, Hari Raya Idil Adha is a time to celebrate kindness, generosity and unity. And that's no matter where people are, as in the story filed by Nightline's Muhammad Nadir Asfa.
Idil Adha is a meaningful celebration for Muslims around the world to spend time with loved ones and perform prayers together. For Muslims in Malaysia, many take the opportunity to return to their hometowns and celebrate the occasion with family and friends.
Hari Raya Idil Adha has also been a celebration of faith, family and community. Today in Kampung Kerdas Gombak, I speak to 71-year-old Nuran Nawawi, who has experienced this sacred tradition through many celebrations, to hear more about how the spirit of togetherness has strengthened through the years.
According to Nuran, when she was younger and still living in her hometown of Sabah, Bernam, Selangor, the celebrations were modest and limited to close family members.
Dulu tak adalah semeriah sekarang kan. Ya, orang kampung kan. Yalah, buat pun tak adalah macam semua surau kampung-kampung habis seko kan. Itulah. Ramai juga, berpuluh juga lah. Yalah, dia kumpul kan. Adik-adik, adik ipar. Pasal nenek yang nak sulung kan. Nak ganti mak lah, mak dah tak ada kan.
Nuran noted that the celebration nowadays is more lively.
Sekarang itulah. Tak ada dua ekor satu masjid tu kan banyak. Surau tu kan sikit kan. Dia masak. Dah berbagi semua tu kan. Dia masak lah. Masak makan ramai-ramai lepas tu.
For residents of Kampung Kerdas, during each Idil Adha, they will make it a point to stay put in their village.
So kita boleh tahulah perbezaan di bandar ni kebanyakan selalunya kita buat korban ni di masjid atau di surau. So jarang orang buat dekat kawasan perumahan. Yang mana kalau kampung kita boleh nampak benda tu. Yang memang kerap sangat kita buat dekat kawasan perumahan apa semua. Kalau kita buat dekat kawasan macam ni, kejiranan kita ni, dekat sini kita boleh nampak kita punya kejiranan kita, silaturahim kita. So siapa yang datang, siapa yang kita nolong sama kan, dekat situ.
For others, the celebration has become more meaningful as they grow older and take on greater responsibilities in preparing for the occasion.
Masa kita punya turn lah untuk memasak kan. Sebelum ni kita punya parents, so sekarang ni kita pula ambil tanggungjawab tu untuk memasak kan. Dan kita pun dah involve untuk program korban ni dan kita organise semua daripada awal sampai akhir.
Idil Adha may be rooted in tradition, but its meaning continues to grow with every generation. Whether in the laughter of a bustling kitchen or the quiet unity of shared prayers, its spirit lives on in the connections nurture. Muhammad Nadir Asfar, TV3.
Klang boat capsized. SAR operations to resume Sunday. More news from the local front after this breather.
Nak kerja buat apa? Ni aku nak buka bisnes kopi untuk kita ni.
Konsep bisnes kita ni mewah. Biji kopi tu sini kena rare.
Drama bersiri sulung Nik Amir Mustafa.
Aku rasa aku tak dijual lah band ni.
Lelaki tak bercerita, tapi diam-diam je. Move on, bina life baru.
Tapi perangai you macam...
Tepi. Ya, you tak apa, you okey.
Muat turun dan layan tonton sekarang. Semua favourite anda di sini.
10 hari pertama bulan Zulhijjah menyimpan banyak fadilatnya. Mari perbanyakkan tahlil La ilaha illallah, takbir Allahu Akbar dan tahmid Alhamdulillah sebagai penguat iman dan hati. Selamat menyambut Hari Raya Idil Adha.
Sebagai suami tak berguna, sebagai bapa tak boleh pakai.
Cukup! Sebab dia nak jadi manusia yang bertanggungjawablah semua benda ni terjadi. Ibu cakap cerai kan Syah.
Ustazah, kau ni memang jenis bercakap tak tengok orang
Nombor 1, saya bukan ustazah.
Kau nak ugut aku, Aminah?
Awak ingat awak seorang je kan yang boleh main ugut-ugut?
Saya sangat. Apa tengok siapa yang nak tolong bapak macam kau ni?
Ni ada bersedia dengan aku penghukuman. Atas apa yang dia ada buat.
Welcome back. Gabungan Rakyat Sabah GRS is fully prepared to face the 17th state election. Its chairman, Datuk Sri Hajiji Noor, who is also the chief minister, said GRS had conducted a series of training sessions across constituencies and state assembly areas to strengthen the coalition's election machinery ahead of the polls.
Jelas, PRS sekarang sudah bersedia. Kita sudah menubuhkan jentera pilihan raya kita. Kita telah pun mengadakan beberapa siri kursus di tiap-tiap kawasan dan juga peringkat Dewan Undangan Negeri.
However, he said discussions on seat allocations have yet to take place. Hajiji spoke to the media after officiating the Idil Adha sacrificial ritual at the Tuaran District Police Headquarters on Saturday. Commenting on the cooperation with any parties for the upcoming election, Hajiji said GRS remains open to discussions with the party leaders. The Sabah Legislative Assembly will automatically dissolve on November 11, ending the 5-year term that began with its official opening by Sabah Yang di-Pertua Negeri Tun Juha Mahiruddin on November 12, 2020, paving the way for the 17th state election. In Selangor, 2 victims of a boat which capsized in the waters of Tanjong Harapan on Friday are still missing. Authorities were unable to locate 32-year-old Gan Hon Tat and his wife, 29-year-old Karin Man, after the search and rescue SAR operation was suspended at 7 p.m. on Saturday. Selangor Maritime Director Captain Abdul Muhaimin Muhammad Saleh said that the incident occurred at around 4:30 p.m. and approximately 0.3 nautical miles west of Tanjong Harapan. 6 individuals were on board when it reportedly capsized. Earlier, rescuers recovered the bodies of 3 victims identified as 3-year-old Darren Gan, 50-year-old Chiu Son Hin, and 29-year-old Fong Yong Sen. Only 1 victim survived the incident, 17-year-old Elvin Chang Yang Kin, who was rescued by a fisherman. Rescuers will resume their duties on Sunday morning. Kuala Lumpur police are continuing their investigation into the tragic death of a 4-year-old child who fell from the 30th floor of an apartment in Bukit Jalil by recording statements from multiple individuals, including the child's father and several expert witnesses. Cheras Deputy Police Chief Superintendent Ridwan Khalid confirmed that police were recording the child's father's statement late Saturday, while expert and additional witness testimonies would be recorded on June 10th. In a statement on Saturday, Ridwan said that the case is still under investigation and the investigation paper will be submitted to the Deputy Public Prosecutor in the near future. It was reported that police had detained the child's mother and the mother's younger sibling to assist with the investigation. The 2 women, aged 27 and 25, were remanded until Friday. The incident occurred on Friday morning when the child reportedly fell from a balcony at a high-rise apartment at Jalan Jalil Impian 1 at approximately 10:30 a.m. The case is being investigated under the Child Act 2001, which pertains to child negligence or mistreatment by guardians. Thailand and Cambodia reinforcing troops on disputed border. The details when Nightline returns.
Betul kau cakap, memang kau tak ada duit. Sampai tahap kau pinjam duit alung pun ada untuk bagi makan anak-anak.
Kiam makan tu, kiam beras ni kan cuma beli kilo kan. Kalau dia tak belajar tu tak ada. Orang kata putih so. Lain tak ada, saya fikir masa tu cuma fikir mati lah. Lain tu memang tak ada fikir.
Ada drama baru lah kat Facebook. Nak download lah tu. Ingat jangan download ataupun share laman web Cetak Rompak. Jangan.
Sebagai suami tak berguna, sebagai bapa tak boleh pakai.
Cukup! Sebab dia nak jadi manusia yang bertanggungjawab lah. Semua benda ni terjadi
Ustazah, kau ni memang jenis bercakap tak tengok orang
Nombor 1, saya bukan ustazah.
Kau nak ugut aku, Aminah?
Awak ingat awak seorang je kan yang boleh main ugut-ugut?
Awak. Sungguh sayang sangat. Apa tengok siapa yang nak tolong bapak macam kau ni?
Ni ada bersedia dengan aku untuk hukuman. Atas apa yang dia ada buat.
Onto the foreign front. Several countries, including Bangladesh, Pakistan and the United States, celebrated Idil Adha on Saturday, a day after it was observed in other parts of the world, with Muslims gathering for prayers and festive celebrations. Over in the United States, California Muslims in San Diego gathered for prayers to mark the beginning of the Islamic festival of sacrifice. Some worshippers, however, said it was hard to enjoy this year's celebrations due to the impact the US government's upcoming travel ban will have on Muslim families. Muslims in Pakistan also gathered to mark the beginning of Idil Adha with special prayers in mosques and open spaces across the country. Karachi residents gathered on the streets to witness the sacrificial slaughter of livestock, with some aware of the impact of rising inflation and poverty. In Bangladesh, Muslim devotees celebrated Idil Adha with joy as thousands attended 5 congregational prayers at the Baitul Mukarram National Mosque in Dhaka. The day was observed with acts of sacrifice, family gatherings, and the distribution of meat to the poor. Muslims across India also mark Idil Adha with prayers and well wishes for the country. Worshippers gathered in large numbers at mosques and iconic locations, including New Delhi's Jama Masjid and the Taj Mahal in Agra, to offer prayers and celebrate the occasion with a spirit of unity and devotion. Thailand has reinforced its military presence along a disputed border with Cambodia following an increase in troops on the other side. Thailand's Defence Minister Phumtham Wichayachai said on Saturday that the situation has further strained tensions along the border, prompting the Royal Thai government to implement additional measures. However, he did not provide further details on the extent of reinforcements by either side. Despite days of carefully worded statements from both Southeast Asian governments expressing a commitment to dialogue, Phumtham said Cambodia had rejected proposals during Thursday's bilateral talks that could have led to a de-escalation. Tensions between the two Southeast Asian countries have been rising since a Cambodian soldier was killed on May 28 in a brief skirmish in an undemarcated border area. Israeli attacks have killed at least 66 Palestinians across Gaza, including at least 16 in a strike on Gaza City's Sabah neighborhood, which the civil defense described as a full-fledged massacre. Dozens were also wounded in the Zionist attack on Saturday. Among those killed in the attacks were 8 people in a shooting incident near an aid distribution site west of Rafah in southern Gaza. Meanwhile, it was reported that dozens of Palestinians remain trapped under the rubble following the attack in Gaza City, and civil defense teams are working to retrieve bodies and rescue as many individuals as possible. In the south of the besieged enclave, the Palestinian Red Crescent said Al-Mal Hospital in Khan Yunis was no longer accessible after Zionist forces designated the surrounding area a dangerous combat zone and ordered evacuations. New Zealand is experiencing a significant surge in COVID-19 and other respiratory infections, with recent data showing a sharp jump in hospitalizations and outbreaks across the country. The National Medical Advice Service Healthline on Friday reported an uptick in calls related to influenza-like illnesses. Hospital admissions for severe respiratory infections in Auckland rose by over 50% in the week ending June 1st, although overall levels remain similar to those seen last year. According to the Institute of Environmental Science and Research, ESR, nationwide wastewater testing also points to a growing increase in COVID-19 cases. ESR wastewater surveillance showed COVID infections were on the rise again, up 75% in a week between May 18 and 25th, well before reported cases. In response, Health New Zealand has increased staffing, optimized hospital bed use and intensified vaccination campaigns. Turning to sports now, Muay Thai The One Championship. Rising national star Ahmad Noor Iman Alif Rakib continued his impressive run in the tournament with a fourth straight victory, defeating Morocco's El Mehdi El Jamari via unanimous decision in Bangkok, Thailand on Saturday. Alif, who remains undefeated in his professional career, delivered a composed yet explosive performance in the strawweight Muay Thai bout, effectively shutting down El Mehdi's quest to avenge his brother Zakaria's defeat to the Malaysian last year. The win not only extends his unbeaten record, but also reinforces his growing reputation on the international stage. With this latest triumph, Alif continues to emerge as one of Malaysia's brightest prospects in the global Muay Thai scene. Meanwhile, in the flyweight division, Johan Ghazali's Zulfikar 18 suffered his second straight defeat in one championship. The Malaysian-American, better known as Jojo, lost to American-Colombian Diego Paez on split decision. On to badminton, the 2025 Indonesia Open. Malaysia's title hopes hang on a single thread in Jakarta on Saturday as women's doubles shuttlers Pearly Tan and Amtina carry the nation's last hopes into the final showdown this Sunday. Pearly Tina smashed into their maiden World Tour Super 1000 final after impressively beating China's world number 6 Li Yijing Lao Zumin 12-21, 21-17, 21-11. This marks their third final of the year following their Thailand Open title last month and a runner-up finish at the Indonesian Masters in January. Standing in Pearly Tina's way in their bid to land the biggest title of their career so far will be another Chinese pair, world number 1 Liu Shengshu, Tan Ning. Meanwhile, it was the end of the road for men's doubles pair Man Wei Chong, T Kai Wun, who fell to Indonesia's Sabah Karyaman Gutama and Mohreza Pehlevi Isfan Hani. Despite staging a spirited comeback in the second set, the Malaysians crumbled in the decider, eventually going down 18-21, 21-12, 18-21. National mixed doubles duo Chen Tangji and To Iwei also bowed out after losing 23-21, 14-21, 11-21 to Thailand's informed pair Duchapol Puraranukor and Suprisa Paiwai Sambran. It was their third defeat to the Thai pair in 4 encounters to date. Tennis, the 2025 Roland Garros Open. Ruthless Yannick Sinner battled past record-chasing Novak Djokovic in the clash of generations on Friday, setting up a blockbuster French Open final showdown with defending champion Carlos Alcaraz. The world #1 Italian who recently returned from a doping ban produced sublime tennis to secure a 6-4, 7-5, 7-6 victory, ending Djokovic's hopes of claiming a standalone record 25th Grand Slam title. The 38-year-old Djokovic looked emotional as he placed his racket bags down on court Philippe Chatrier and waved farewell to an adoring crowd. Early in the day, Alcaraz moved into his second successive Roland Garros final after 8th seed Lorenzo Musetti retired injured during the fourth set of their semi-final. The world #2 Spaniard led 4-6, 7-6, 6-love, 2-love when Musetti was forced to end the match early. Sinner and Alcaraz were the clear favourites heading into the clay court Grand Slam and will now write another chapter in their fast-developing rivalry. That concludes Nightline this time around. Before we leave, let's take a look at the vibrant and heartwarming atmosphere of the Idil Adha celebrations, featuring scenes of unity, devotion and community spirit from various locations across Malaysia. With that, I'm Zahir, Kelvin Abdullah. Thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your weekend.